Hello, this is Sarah Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a quick video, and this video is to thank Sarah Palin. So Sarah Palin, who was McCain's vice presidential candidate, and anyway, so she is suing the New York Times. And it's been sort of a prolonged legal battle. It's gone back and forth in the courts. And so recently she was given the go-ahead in the courts to sue the New York Times for defamation. And I am thrilled about this. I am super excited. I know it's been a difficult and prolonged battle, and I just want to thank Sarah Palin from the bottom of my heart for enduring this struggle and for suing the New York Times for defamation, and for just being steadfast and committed to seeing this to fruition. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart, because everyone just keeps telling me how horrible contracted legal battles are, and how even if you win, you don't win because they're so horrible to go through, and you just get, raked over the coals all over again. And so I just want to thank Sarah Palin from the bottom of my heart for going through this. So now she is suing the New York Times for defamation because the New York Times linked her to the mass shooting involving Gabby Giffords. The Gabby Giffords is the former Arizona legislator, and she was the one who was shot in the head, remember? And her husband actually is an astronaut, and so now she's like has had a really amazing recovery, but apparently she still has difficulties and challenges, but it is amazing the cognitive abilities she's been able to recover, the physical abilities she's been able to recover, and it's so wonderful to see her recovering from that incident. So the New York Times linked Sarah Palin to that incident, and of course that is grossly defamatory. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is that Sarah Palin is obviously a public figure, right? There's no doubt that she's a public figure, and defamation against a public figure, it can be very hard to prove that, very hard to collect damages for that. Like, you have to show that the person who defamed you, in this case the New York Times defamed Sarah Palin, that they did it with malice, that they absolutely knew that they were lying about Sarah Palin in an attempt to destroy her life, her livelihood, her reputation, her good name. And then you also have to show damages. You have to show, Sarah Palin has to show that she really was, in a very tangible way, and usually this means money, that she lost some opportunity, a job opportunity, something like that, because of the defamation by the New York Times about Sarah Palin. So for her, it is really an uphill battle. Now, as most of you are probably already very well aware, the New York Times has been part of the global vilification and defamation campaign against me, led by the Yale administration following the Living or Not Being While Black hate crime hoax at Yale. There's not a doubt in my mind that the New York Times was telling disgusting lies about me, trying to get me killed, trying to incite my murder, trying to drive me to suicide, trying to destroy my lifelong human and civil rights career, trying to destroy my good name, which is all I had, my reputation, which is all I had, at the behest of the Yale administration. The Yale administration led this global vilification and defamation campaign against me to try to get me killed, to cover up their own gross malfeasance, their own gross and evil wrongdoing. So obviously, I am not a public figure. And at the time of the Living or Not Being While Black hate crime hoax, when I was dragged into the spotlight, I was the antithesis of a public figure, the very antithesis of a public figure. I was living like a hermit, Rapunzel style, at the top of a tower on Yale's campus in my dormitory, the Hall of Graduate Studies. I rarely left my room. I was struggling with mental health disabilities, with post-traumatic stress disorder. The video that Lolata Siambola took of me on May 8, 2018 was the grossest violation of my privacy. I was standing in the threshold of my own isolated dorm room, Yale dorm room, and it was also clearly meant, obviously meant to publicly shame me for my mental health disabilities. That's what the video was intended to do. So this is, and there, all the New York Times had to do, they knew. The New York Times did what they did to me at the behest of the Yale administration. They 100% knew that I was an entirely innocent and lifelong human and civil rights and anti-racism activist, an innocent Yale grad student. They knew that they were probably driving me to suicide. They knew that they were probably inciting my murder. They knew that they were destroying my human and civil rights career. They knew that I was entirely innocent. They knew that I was an anti-racism activist. All they would have had to do, even if they try to claim that they didn't know this, they should have known this. And all they would have had to do is Google my name. That's all they would have had to do is Google my name. My name is not at all common. My surname, my family name, Braasch, is not at all common. It's very easy to Google information about me. So anyway, so the New York Times, they did the same thing to me that they did to Sarah Palin, except I am the antithesis of a public figure. I could not be less of a public figure. And the New York Times also, it's defamation per se. I don't even have to show damages because it's defamation per se, because the New York Times repeatedly accused me of having perpetrated crimes. In August of 2019, the New York Times, in a news article, that's the other thing, is that Sarah Palin is suing over an editorial, over an op-ed. I want to sue the New York Times, need to sue the New York Times to stop the moral outrage industry from getting one more innocent person killed, from destroying one more innocent life, because of a news article, a front page news article by the New York Times in August 2019. I mean, it's a whole campaign. It's a whole years-long, ongoing campaign by the New York Times to destroy me and to get me killed. But in particular, in August of 2019, in a front page news article, the New York Times said that what I had done at Yale was exactly the same as a white woman who pulled a gun on some black kids. The New York Times in August of 2019 said that I was the same as a white woman who pulled a gun on some black kids. And so I already reached out over Twitter, but I really want to reach out to Sarah Palin. I really want to reach out to her followers. I will have my GoFundMe and my PayPal me links below. Please donate to my legal fund. I need to sue the New York Times. They need to be stopped from doing this. The New York Times is the very definition of fake news press. No one should believe a word that they read in the New York Times. The New York Times is a sick and evil organization. They don't care if they get innocent people killed. They don't care if they get innocent human rights activists killed. As long as they make moral outrage industry money, that's all they care about. They don't care about racism. They don't care about police brutality. They don't care about Black Lives Matter. The only thing the New York Times cares about is making moral outrage industry money, and they don't care who they have to get killed to make it. They don't care if they get innocent people killed. They don't care, and I want you to know that. So please support me. Please donate to my legal fund. I still have time to sue the New York Times. The statute of limitations has not run out. I have plenty of time to sue the New York Times. We can do this. We can raise money and we can do this. And I also asked Sarah Palin to help me. I don't have her resources. But she's not just doing this for herself, she's doing this for me, and she's doing this for everyone else who has been grossly defamed and had their life and career destroyed by the New York Times. And so I thank you, Sarah Palin, and please help me sue them as well, because they did the same thing to me that they did to you, and I'm not even a public figure. I'm the antithesis of a public figure, and it was defamation per se in my case. The New York Times outright accused me of having perpetrated a crime in a front page news article. We can do this. We can sue the New York Times. Please help me. I'll have my GoFundMe and PayPal me links below. Thank you so much. I love you all so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support and kind words. They mean the world to me. You are saving my life and career, and we are going to restore due process and civil liberties at Yale and on colleges across the U.S. and everywhere. Okay, have a great night. Bye.